Hello everyone, we are Team 2 and we want to explain the process of our Titan car dealership with the use of sequence diagrams. Our team members consist of Rosa Soto, Ahmed Ibrahim, Diego Muniz, Ahmed Adel, and myself, Lawrence Lee. We will now please welcome Rosa to talk about the process to match customers with vehicles.
My name is Rosa. Today I'm going to take you through the process of how our sales team handles customer preferences and vehicle searches. Step one, salesperson. When a customer visits our dealership, the first step is to record their preferences. We ask them questions about their desired features, budget, and other important factors. Step two, once we have the customer's preferences, we look up their records in our database. This helps us understand their previous interactions with our dealership and any specific requests they have made in their past. Step three, our system then determines the results of an internal inventory search based on the customer's preferences. We check if we have any vehicles in stock that match the desired features and specification. Step four, salesperson, if the customer record is found, we proceed to link their preferences to their record. This helps us keep track of their specific needs and preferences to further or future reference. Step five, now that we have the customer's preferences linked to the record, we initiate a search for suitable vehicles. We begin searching our internal inventory. Step six, the system determines the results of the external inventory search, checking if there are any vehicles available in other locations that match the customer's preferences. Step seven, while the external search is in progress, we also search our internal inventory to see if we have any vehicles that meet the customer's requirements. Step eight, if we find a vehicle in our internal inventory that matches the customer's preferences, we proceed to the next step. The customer is then invited to test drive the matched vehicle. This gives them the opportunity to experience the vehicle firsthand and see if it meets their expectation. Last step, after the test drive, I record the test drive information into the customer's record. This includes details like the date of the test drive, the vehicle model, and any feedback the customer provides. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rosa. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ahmed Ibrahim. Thank you for joining me today for this brief presentation on a sequence diagram that illustrates the process of selling a vehicle. You will see how different actors such as customer, salesperson, sales manager, finance manager interacts with each other and with the system to complete a sale. As you can see, this diagram has several elements. The actors are represented by vertical lines with the stick figures at the top. The messages are represented by horizontal arrows between the actors and the system. They show the information or requests that are exchanged between them. The lifelines are represented by dashed vertical lines that extend from the actors and the system. The alt frames show alternative scenarios or conditions that may occur in the communication. Now let me walk you through the main steps of the vehicle sales process as shown in the diagram. First, the customer selects a vehicle to purchase and informs the salesperson. Next, the salesperson records the vehicle selection and creates a sales order with the choice in the system. Then the customer decides on options, accessories, and trade-in vehicle and informs the salesperson. Then the customer decides on options, accessories, and trade-in vehicle and informs the salesperson. After that, the salesperson updates the sales order with discounts and taxes in the system. The system then generates a purchase agreement and sends it back to the salesperson. The salesperson then submits the sales order agreement for approval to the sales manager. At this point, there are two possible outcomes. Either the agreement is approved or denied by the sales manager. This is shown by the alt frame labeled agreement is approved on the diagram. In case of financing, the financing request is sent to the financial institutions. Again, there are two possible outcomes. Either the financing request is approved or denied by the financial institution. This is shown by the alt frame labeled financing request is approved on the diagram. If financing is approved, the salesperson then submits the financing term for approval to the finance manager. Once more, there are two possible outcomes. Either the financing terms are approved or denied. This is shown by the alt frame labeled finance terms are approved on the diagram. If the financing terms are approved, the salesperson then finalizes the sale with the customer. In summary, managed sales sequence diagram covers the comprehensive process of selling vehicles to customers in a car dealership. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate your time. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Diego as he takes us through the inventory management sequence diagram description.
Thank you, Ahmed. I'll be going over the update inventory sequence diagram. This diagram describes how the system automatically updates inventory on a weekly basis. We have two objects that we're going to be sending messages to, and that's transaction and inventory. The diagram is quite large, so I'm going to present this to you in 3 pieces, and each piece is going to represent an alternative sequence. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the activity diagram, from which we developed the sequence diagram. As you can see from our activity diagram, we have 3 alternatives. The system retrieves transaction information and determines if it's a sale, purchase, or a trade-in. The sale alternative locates the car sold, marks the VIN number as sold, and then increases the model count. The purchase alternative does the opposite and adds the car to the inventory. And then the trade-in alternative splits a transaction into 2 types and process them as sale or purchase. The first thing we do in the sequence diagram is send a message to the transaction object to collect transaction details. This will determine one of 3 alternatives. So the first one we're going to look at is the alternative with a sale card. We'll receive a response for the transaction object containing the details of the vehicle that has been sold. Following this, the lifeline of the transaction object will be deactivated for the remainder of the sale alternative sequence. We then activate the inventory object and send it a message to look up the VIN for the vehicle on record. So we'll get the VIN back, and then we'll mark the vehicle as sold and decrease the count in the inventory for that model in the next 2 messages to the inventory object. Finally, the lifeline in the inventory object is deactivated. We've also wrapped the sequence in a loop to account for every single vehicle in the transaction. The loop condition states that there must be 0 or more vehicles in the transaction. This next alternative has a guard for purchase transactions. First, we get the details from the purchase and look up the model in our inventory. And we have a nested alternative that handles instances where the model of the vehicle purchase is new to the inventory. If the purchase is an existing model in the inventory, then nothing is done and we go to the next step. If it's not an existing model, then we add the model and exit the scope of the alternative. We then send messages to add the new VIN to the inventory and increase the model count. Lastly, trade-in transactions represent both sale and a purchase transaction. First, we get the details of the sale and execute the update inventory to recursively process the transaction as a sale and follow the normal flow of the sale. Similarly, we'll get the details of the purchase and execute the update inventory to recursively process the transaction as a purchase. And then we'll follow the normal flow for a purchase. Next, Lawrence will go over the commission sequence diagram.
Thank you for that, Diego. Moving on to our sequence diagram for determining salesperson commission, we have our salesperson as the primary actor. This use case is triggered at the end of every week based on the sales the salesperson has made. The sales information is then transferred over to the sales database for verification. Once the sales information is determined to be accurate, the sales data is populated into the commission calculation system. Once the commission percentage calculated is then again verified, we use the amount generated to the salesperson's paycheck. However, if there are any alternatives during this process, we want to send the incorrect calculations to the correct department for reprocessing. When the commission percentage is miscalculated, the system automatically returns the wrong calculations to the sales database. Coherently, when the sales database detects incorrect information, it sends a notice back to the salesperson so they may re-input the data. Next, please welcome Ahmed Adol for the sequence diagram on determining sales promotions.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Today we will discuss how our inventory management system and sales team collaborate to streamline and process of generating and offering promotional deals to our valued customers. Let's begin by taking a look at the key stakeholders involved in our car sales process. We have our inventory management system, sales manager, salesperson, and of course our customers. Our inventory management system plays a crucial role in our promotional offers. It enables us to track our inventory manage pricing changes, and generate various of promotional options to attract customers. The sales manager oversees the entire sales process and ensures that our promotional offer align with our business goals. They work closely with the salespersons to communicate and implement their offer effectively. Our salespersons are in front of the line of our customer interactions. They have access to the system's promotional offers and can present them to the customers based on their preferences and their needs. Okay, and now let's dive into specific steps involved in our promotional offer process. The inventory management system generates promotional offers such as discounted price, leasing options, and trade-in deals to attract customers. These offers can customized based on various factors like inventory availability and customers' preferences. Once the promotional offers are generated, the system deploys them, notifying the salesperson about the new offers available. Our salesperson actively engage with the customers, offering the promotional deals to their specific requirements. They present the optional and explain the benefits of each offer. Customers then have the opportunity to choose promotional offer that suits them the best. They can consider factors like pricing, leasing options, trade-in opportunities, and any available rebates. Once the customer select the promotional offer, the salesperson inform the inventory management system about the chosen offer, initiating the purchase process. And then the system confirms the purchase and extended its gratitude to the customer for the choosing our dealership. And finally, the salesperson ensures the smooth transaction process, completing the necessary paperwork and finalizing the purchase with the chosen promotional offer. In a summary of this diagram, our streamlined approach to promotional offers enhance the car sales process, providing our customers with attractive options and a personalized buying experience. Also, this diagram provides a clear and overview of the promotional offer process, highlighting the collaboration between the inventory management system and the salesperson. It emphasizes the customer-centric approach and the goal of providing a personalized buying experience.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes our sequence diagram presentation for the Titan car dealership.